history, we turn to Michael. And Michael, you're going to talk to us a little bit about falling out with Greg Dyke.
Well,
what's that about?
Yes, ratty little chap. Remember him? He was Director General of the BBC.
I do.
And I don't quite know how I crossed him, but I was going in to do the 10 o'clock news after lunch, after a rather good lunch, as I recall. And he was there in the lift in the television centre, you know, slumped against the far wall. And he looked at me and he said, "Late again?" And I said, "Yeah, me too." And it didn't go down very well. I was called to his office, which was actually really quite austere for such a senior public servant as Director General of the BBC, you know, just a full-length mirror and a throne. But I thought the time had come when I really ought to diversify and get into after-dinner speaking. And there are really hazards that you don't anticipate, you know, as a work on television. I mean, you've got an audience, but news, you haven't got an audience at all, and it's rather startling to see people. But the other thing is, you get betrayed by the people who introduce you at after-dinner speaking, who all think they're wonderful speakers themselves, and they have the freedom to take the mickey out of you. In fact, one of them introduced me in the following terms. Slightly risque. Our speaker tonight is Michael Buerk, finest journalist of his generation. Warm, witty and wise, writes like Shakespeare, looks like a Greek god, irresistible to women, and, like all good newscasters, writes his own introductions.
Very good. Oh, well done. Very good. So, there you were in this lift, because he was quite a combative sort of chap, isn't he?
Yeah, quite aggressive, snapping, I'd say, on this particular occasion, though on other occasions quite warm and quite avuncular, yeah. On the subject of being betrayed by people introducing you as a speaker, I was once at a literary festival observing Ian McEwan, perhaps one of the finest writers in the English language at the moment. And the same thing happened to him. This chap introducing him just was a prolonged mickey-taking of Ian McEwan, and he was getting more and more angry. And eventually, when the time came for McEwan to speak, he got up and he said, it was the great philosopher Hegel who said, "At my age, I should only speak in public for as long as I can make love." That's right. And then he sat down. And nothing could persuade him to get up again.
Is that right? He really did it?
Perfect riposte.
Yeah, it's very funny, that line. George Hegel, that's right. You can only stand up and speak in public for as long as you can make love to your wife, which, according to The Sun, is 3 minutes. So there we are. Try that one.